in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for Married at First Sight here on the Peacock Network. And we are on season 20 and we are now reviewing episode 18. This is the last episode before final decision day. But we are limping to the finish line. We are losing couples like no other. Did you see my thumbnail for Married at First Sight season 20 episode 18? Did you see my thumbnail? You know what it said? Shots fired. And it's got a picture of Nikki and Shawn and also Mecca and Belle because shots have been fired. And some people are responding and some people are laying down. So, what I find disturbing, the reason why I put these two couples on the thumbnail this week together is because they are the opposite of Cameron and Michelle. I know a lot of people out here don't like Cameron and Michelle because they feel they're too judgmental, but you know what they are? They're together. They're Bonnie and Clyde. They're saying, you know what, if you're going to hit us, you're going to hit us together, and we're going to be locked in together, and it's going to be us against y'all. So you can hate us all you want, but we love each other. And what we're not going to do is we're not going to use our superpowers, our talents, our whatever, to attack each other. We're going to stand united against all y'all out there. And I keep saying this about Nikki and Shawn. They're the same people. They're the same people. I've been saying it. I got it wrong. I said they were both were from New York. Actually, Nikki's from Philly and Shawn is from New York. But East Coast folks, come on now. East Coast out in Seattle, y'all should be locked in. It should be East Coast versus the West Coast. That's what it should be. It should be a rap battle. And Mecca and Belle, truth be told, they're both good-looking people. I mean, Mecca with that gold tooth and the messed up braids. My braids is messed up too, but hey, truth of the matter is they both good-looking people. It should be them against the world. But what do we have here? We've got Belle and Mecca. Mecca talking about Belle looks, and she's pretty beyond pretty. You've got Shawn and Nikki talking about looks. Come on now. Nikki looks good. And truth be told, y'all are out here talking about Shawn. Shawn is not an ugly man. Is he a little overweight? Yeah, he is. But guess what? Guess what? Someone sent me Instagram of Shawn. Going over there to his Instagram page. Shawn lost weight, y'all. He has dropped about 15 or 20 pounds. Shawn looks good. I don't know what y'all talking about. Shawn is not an ugly looking man. There's no reason why these two people should be talking about each other's looks. And when I want to say shots fired, here we go back to Miss Nikki. When are y'all going to give Nikki some takeaways? Why are you guys not helping this woman? Okay? You guys can't keep saying that she's doing everything right because she's not achieving the goals she wants. It may not be your goal, right? But your goal, if you're going to help people, help them achieve their goals. And now we hear the backstory behind Shawn telling her you will be a 7 in New York even though you're a 10 in Seattle. And Shawn told us the story, which I believe, I absolutely believe it, that when they were in the pool, Nikki started grabbing on his dad bod, extra belly around the waist, squeezing it as to say she disapproves, which we know she disapproves. She talked about it in the beginning of the show. She said, I don't want a dad bod without the dad. We know she doesn't like it. So she squeezed his fat. That's what she did. And as a result, what do Leos do? What do lions do? Right? What happened? He came back with the jab. Like I said, shots fired. But now we find out that Nikki really shot the first shot. Now, she may not think she did, right? Because she may just think, what? But if you're dealing with the person you think who already feels insecure about their looks because they already know you're not sexually attracted to them, why on earth would you believe squeezing their belly fat, and whether you said the words or not, a person can pick up on that and you believe that that person's not going to come back with a comeback? See, that's what I'm saying. That's what Nikki was telling us before, that I have to cater to him for him to be nice to me. Yeah, that's what it looks like. For these two to be so corporate, they really don't know what change management looks like. I'm in the change management business. It's what my profession is. I'm an engineer. I effect change. I bring in new solutions for change is what I do. And I'm going to tell you right now, in order for change to take place in any corporation, any relationship, you have to know what other people value. If you do not know what other people value, you will not be able to affect change in them. If all you do is go off of what you want, your own goals, what you're trying to accomplish, nobody's going to work with you, because what they're going to say is you're all about yourself. You're not really here to help us. You're not really here to make the system better or the organization better. You're just here to look good. And that's the problem with Nikki and Shawn, is that they are two powerhouses. If they really put their superpowers together, like Cameron and Michelle, whether you hit them or not, they could be formidable. But instead, what they do is they compete with each other. And that little jab to squeeze belly fat, Nikki, was a competition. And competition breeds backstabbing. It breeds crabs in a barrel. It breeds competition. And that's not really what you want in sort of a Bonnie and Clyde situation. Bonnie and Clyde are not saying how many bodies did you take down and how many bodies I take down. That's not what they're doing at the end of a battle. What they're saying is we defeated the enemy. It doesn't matter if you took down 10 and I took down 5. We won. That should be what's important. I really wish both Mecca and Belle and Nikki and Shawn could stop with the shots firing. And even though I may not like Cameron and Michelle, I admire them for their strategy. And I commend them and I wish them well. And I just wish these other two couples, who I think what they're arguing over is competition. Mecca is in competition with Belle, right? Because she has a sweet spirit. And like I said before in my last video, he's got an evil spirit. And what do evil spirits want to do? Defeat good spirits. And then you got Shawn and Nikki competing against each other on looks, career, money, where they live, probably cars they drive, everything, every aspect. Instead of looking at it as a union, us against the world, they look at it as who's better than who in each of these categories, and it never ever ends. Never ends. You know what other shots were fired? Shots were fired down in my comments about Tori and Felipe. Y'all all come to the front. Come to the front and get a good row seat. That way, if you want to get some shots off in this video about me in the comment section, you have a front row seat, okay, to it. Because let me tell you something, I was right. Felipe don't want to be here. Now what we see on this episode is Felipe telling his mama and his best friend, I don't really want to be with this woman. I know on paper everybody says I should be with her. I know, mama, you think she's the best thing since sliced bread, but I really don't want to be with her. And I really can't tell you all the truth of why I really don't want to be with her. Is Felipe an F-off? Yes, he is an F-off. But like I said one last time, why is Tori still here? This man has told her over and over again in so many ways, I don't care about being in a relationship with you. I don't. I've told you so many salacious things, so many horrible things, and you still won't go away. How is Tori any different than Belle? They're still sticking around, even though these men have told them in more ways than one, they don't want to be here. They don't want you. Forget about the dribble drabble they do, the little pillow talk they do. Watch their actions. And now at the end of this episode, right before they have to meet at the decision day, whatever, pond, altar, whatever you want to call it, Felipe says, let me try one last time to get this woman to say no on decision day so I don't have to be the one to reject her. I don't really want to do the dirty work. He doesn't want to do it. And we all know that Felipe is very comfortable with being the butt of the joke. He's already told us he doesn't care what other people think, right? So now we know the night before, Felipe said, let me try one more last time to tell her something that hopefully jolts her enough to get this woman to say no to me. He calls her up. He tells her something salacious. He says, this should do it. This really should do it. And he says, I need to put the nail in the coffin. He tells her. Then he shows up at the altar. He says, okay, great. I don't want to be the one to say no to her on national TV. I don't want to be the one to reject her on national TV. So I'm going to go here and act like nothing ever happened. And then I'm going to give her the opportunity to say no to me. And then what emotionally intelligent, which I'm taking that title away from Tori. I'm going to take it away. I'm going to call it self-awareness. That's what she has, self-awareness. But the part of emotional intelligence is not just self-awareness, it's also awareness of others. So I have to take the emotionally intelligent title away from Tori because she has an extreme amount of self-awareness, but she has zero outward awareness of others. Because in this moment, when Felipe is lying to her face and lying to all of us, talking about how much he wants to be with her, she says, don't you think we need to be honest? Great. I love it, Tori. Where are we going to go with this? But in that moment, what is Tori's question? Her question to Felipe was, do you remember what we told me yesterday? And she says, do you think that that's normal? There it is. When you ask a person is something normal, you already are framing whatever they said and whatever they did in the context of what you want for your life and what you think is normal. Hear me one more time. When you call anyone not normal, I don't care what it is, what they do, what you've already done is you've passed judgment on whatever they've done. Now, it could be that most people think it's not normal. It doesn't matter. The point of the matter is that questioning is already framed in your perspective. When you're really seeking to understand a person, you don't frame it in terms of, is that normal? You ask them the whys. Why did that feel good to you? Why did you make that decision? You start to try to understand their thinking. But Tori actually never, ever, and I'll say it one more time, has never put any effort forward to understand Felipe. And all of you people, shots fired to me, you keep thinking that me telling you about Tori is my way of supporting Felipe. It's not. It's not. I work with people all day long at my job that I don't like. Okay? But it's not my job to go around and not like people and decide I don't want to work with them because I don't like them. It's my job to understand what motivates them, what gets them to actually get on board to affect change. And if you are trying to work in a relationship and you don't give a damn about how other people think, you were never, ever able to affect change. Listen, ladies, if you're in the dating world, stop asking men, what do you want in a wife? That's irrelevant. You need to ask people what they want for their life. What do they want? Where do they see themselves going? What are the holes in their life that they would love to fulfill, regardless of a woman being in their life or not? People have goals, men and women, outside of relationships. If you want to understand what motivates a person, understand what motivates them outside of a marriage, outside of a friendship, outside of anything. That's when you start getting to the true heart of what is going to motivate a person. And then what you can do is, after you learn their motivations, after you learn what they want for their life, you then can decide, could you be a person? Could you be a person that helps them achieve that goal? Could you be the Bonnie and Clyde? That's why I said a lot of people, they know what they want. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. But they never ask the other person what they're interested in, what motivates them. So then they're like, I chose you, but why didn't you choose me? Because you don't align with what I want. You want me to be here to service you to your goals, but you're not really here to service me to my goals. So all these couples, Nikki and Shawn, Belle and Mecca, really could take a page from Cameron and Michelle. We may not like them. We may not like the way they double team other people, and they can be nasty with it. They can be sort of judgmental with it. They sure can. But you know what? Their marriage is their marriage. Their marriage is their marriage. And eventually, hopefully, their family will be their family. And they're going to be just fine. Because, we're going to start off talking about, that was a long intro, but we're going to start off talking about Cameron is a shit stirrer. He likes to stir the pot. He does. He does. Because I told you from the beginning, Cameron knows how to point out the deficiencies. That sometimes he points out those same deficiencies in himself too much, which makes him also become depressed, right? We also got to see, Belgely going home. You know what? This is my note saying, I forgot to talk about last episode, Belle Jolie going in on Nikki. Was that some transference? Absolutely. Belle Jolie was going in on Nikki and Shawn, saying Shawn was not the person for Nikki, right? And that it was a no. There was so much transference that the amount of heat that Belle Jolie had for Shawn was crazy. It was crazy. And let me tell you something. It actually didn't do too much good with, she should have had that heat with Mecca sooner. That's where the heat should have gone. But instead, she continues to coddle Mecca, right? And the truth of the matter is, Mecca needed that same sort of heat that she was giving Shawn and Nikki. She should have given it to her own husband. And what's ironic about it is she was actually doing to Shawn the very thing Mecca's doing to her. The types of things that she was saying, Shawn doesn't deserve Nikki, a lot of it was overlooks. I know it was. I know it was overlooks. Especially the comment about the 10 and the 7. A lot of her heat was because she doesn't believe that Shawn is good enough looking for Nikki. The same way Mecca told her, are you pretty? Yeah, but are you pretty enough for me? Okay, so Belle Jolie, go check yourself. Go check yourself on all of that and saying that Shawn, you should be the last person, Belle Jolie, jumping into anybody else's relationship, talking about who doesn't deserve who's not good looking enough for someone else. When you sitting over there with Mecca, who says the things he says about you, you should really be so humble to sit over there and deal with your own stuff instead of going over there and taking out all your own heat. And let me tell you something. When Mecca saw that, when Mecca said, I've never seen this part of Belle Jolie before. I've never seen this part. And a little bit of it turned him on. A little bit of it, I believe, turned him on because we know, just like you guys kind of want to say that he likes Caitlin. I don't know. He likes a critical woman because he likes criticism because that's kind of what he grew up with. You know, if you guys are going to say that the reason he chose Caitlin and Michelle was because of their looks, I don't even think he likes the Itty Bitty Titty Club. I really don't. But if I'm going to pick out something that he liked about the two of them, he likes critical women. He likes critical people. And Belle Jolie and all this sweetness and softness, you think that's what he should need because he's had so much criticism. But what he gets from her is complete acceptance. And like I tell you, when someone is tainted, they're damaged, even what they need, they reject it to go with what's familiar. So if you want to say he likes Caitlin or he likes Michelle, it's not going to be because of their looks. It's going to be because he likes their critical nature. And Belle Jolie represents the complete opposite. They're normal to him. Caitlin is normal to him. Maybe Michelle is normal to him. Belle Jolie, I don't know what this is. I don't even know if I can trust it. And then when you see her going at Shawn and Nikki, he's like, ooh, I'm turned on now. Now that I'm turned on, now that I know you can be critical, right? And now that I know you can put me down, I'm turned on now. And later on, we see him groveling, talking about, I hope you say yes. I hope you say yes. But let me tell you, Devin said he's calling it. He lets everybody know he's calling it. He's heading back to Seattle. He says, I'm tired of this power struggle. It's emotionally draining. Caitlin says she's tired of carrying the emotional weight and constantly arguing. And she's also tired of being disrespected. They're both tired of being disrespected. Good. Well, go home and get some rest. Because we're ready for you to go too. Right? It's like somebody leaving a party that you like, good. You should have left a long time ago. I wish you wouldn't have even come, to be a matter of fact. Get home safe. Thank you for coming. And we'll be sure to leave you off the guest list of the next party. That's how you treat people like Caitlin and Devin. But next thing you know, Mecca's groveling, telling Belle Jolie, that stuff I said was crazy about the couple swaps. And he says, I really just see Caitlin as a good friend. And he says, now I'm figuring out that my jokes come at the expense of other people. What? That's your daddy. That's what your daddy did at your wedding. It wasn't a toast. It was a roast. All his jokes come at the expense of other people. And it's the same thing you do, Mecca, right? You don't care about other people. You just care about presenting a person that fulfills your own holes in your own self. You don't care about other people. This is why Belle Jolie has to run. At what she goes, what point in time are you going to consider me? Never. Never. He has no capacity to consider you because his spirit is consumed with just considering himself, right? There is no capacity. And until that beast is either defeated inside of him or he tames that beast inside of him, there wouldn't be nothing for you, Belle Jolie. But she's sitting up there soaking it up. You could tell she is soaking it up. It's funny that when they were leaving this party, this retreat, and they were riding in the car with Nikki, and Mecca was talking about he feels responsible for the breakup of Devin and Caitlin, and he told Devin this. Devin said, "Well, it's not your fault. It is a lot of it is his fault, Devin. Devin, why do you keep giving people passes? You should should you feel responsible for all of it? No, but you should hold some responsibility because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to help the situation. You didn't even do anything to keep the situation at neutral. Actually, what you did was you poured gasoline on the fire. So should you accept full responsibility? No, it's not all your fault. It's not all, none of it's all, but you should accept partial responsibility for tearing people down. That's part of the problem. But once again, as Mecca is trying to take some accountability, Belle Jolie jumps in and says, no, you shouldn't say that about yourself. No, let them feel the pain. Sometimes we want to save people from feeling pain because why? No, let them feel the pain, and maybe that will also help him decide, I don't want to feel this way anymore. Great. Do you like this feeling, Mecca? Instead of saying, no, don't say that about, no, do you like this feeling? No, I don't like it. Who do you think has control over changing this feeling you're feeling right now? You do. How did you come to feel this way? Because the words came out of my mouth. Great. So how do you affect change in a person? You make them get in touch with the power that they have over the pain that they're feeling. You don't take it away from them and make them feel powerless. See, what Belle Jolie does every time she makes Mecca not feel his own pain is she says, no, Mecca, it's not your fault that you feel this way. Don't blame yourself. Great. So now Mecca's sitting there going, well, if it's not me, whose fault is it that I feel this way? Oh, I got to blame somebody else for the way that I feel? Now, in order for me to feel better, somebody else has to always do something for me to feel better. You see how that messes you up? No, accountability allows you to take your power back. When you own your shit, you also own not only the accountability, you own the power to change it now. When you don't take accountability, you become a victim because you put all your power in saying, if I want to feel differently, I need everybody else to do something different. That's Tori. Tori feels horrible. She feels horrible because Felipe does foul crap. But if she were just to think just a little bit and saying, how can I not feel this way? What could I do differently? Not just always asking others to be. And the decision may come to, they don't have the capability to be different. And then what your decision is, then I need to leave this person. Tori needs to leave Felipe. But anyway, it became the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what Devin said. And Devin told us that Mecca did later come back and apologize. So good for Mecca. But the damage is done. This is what his father, Legion, has taught him, that I can say whatever I say to you, but afterwards, I just want to let you know that I love you. That's what Legion probably does. He put his son down and then he says, but I just want to tell you that I love you. And therefore, forget about everything I said. Just like that roast at the wedding. He had 15, 20 minutes of roasting Mecca. Then at the very end, he said to his son, I'm happy for you. Really? So that one line wipes out all the hundreds of lines of negativity you just spewed? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Devin around here talking about Caitlin is amazing. No, she's not. Call a spade. Call a thing. Call a chicken. She's not amazing. She's not. She's not. Go home, Caitlin. Go home. Caitlin says she's feeling misunderstood. You're feeling misunderstood because you're not understanding other people. That's why you're feeling misunderstood, because you're not understanding other people. Let that sink into other people for a little bit, right? Because in order for people to understand you, guess what? They've got to feel that you're putting forth an effort to understand them. No one's going to put in any effort to understand you if they don't feel you're trying to put in the effort to understand them. That's just the way it works. I know people want to say, oh, I should be understood without having to try to work to understand other people. It doesn't work that way. People don't work that way. Call it tit for tat. Call it quid pro quo. Call it whatever you want to call it. That's the way the system works. There may be imbalance at moments in time, but overall, people want to be understood too. And they're going to require it of you. And if you don't know how to do it, then you're not going to work well in a business relationship, a friendship, a partnership, a marriage, or anything. So, no, Caitlin, you have zero accountability, and honestly, your moral compass is off. All that sneaky link stuff you was doing with Mecca, bad moral compass, bad moral accomplishment. But then she went around and talking about how well he treated her, how he looked at her, how he looked out for her, that she's treated him better than any other man. What? He's treated you better than any other man, but you still treated him like the gum on the bottom of your shoe? What's wrong with you, Caitlin? What is really wrong with you? In the end, the only person Caitlin can get a ride with is Cameron and Michelle. Nobody else wanted that spirit in their car. No one else wanted to be spirit. And then Mecca runs around and saying at a certain point, a MFer got to be honest with himself. What's that supposed to mean, Mecca? Here you go, once again, putting your foot in your mouth. And Nikki said, well, who's the MFer? Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for confronting Mecca and doing something that Belle Jolie should be doing. And Mecca said he's an idiot. And then Belle Jolie jumped in and said, no, you're not an idiot. No, he is an idiot. Why can't you let that man sit in his shit for at least a minute? And then after he sits in it, and he don't like the feeling of being in a shitty diaper, maybe he'll then decide, hey, I think I got to use the bathroom. Maybe I'll go over there and sit on a toilet. Do you know how hard it would be to potty train a baby if every time they pooped, you just ran to them right away? No, let them walk around in it for a minute. Let them be uncomfortable. That helps sometimes potty train a baby. No, I'm not changing your diaper. Give them an extra 20 minutes. I'm not talking about child abuse. I'm not talking about none of that. You've got to make them own that they can also be responsible for their own comfort, right? You are in control. You have power over your life. You don't have to have a shitty diaper. All you have to do is say, hey, when you want to use the bathroom, tell mommy, potty mommy. You teach them to soothe themselves. You don't always run to soothe them. You teach them techniques, how they can make themselves feel better. But in order to do that, you can't tell them that, oh, no, don't act, you don't have no control over your feelings. Stop it. You're not helping him. He's a grown man. He ain't a baby. He's a grown baby. Mecca says he got to stop. The filter he has is non-existent. And it's at the expense of people. Yes. Keep talking, Mecca. Now you own to something. You know, he said, you know why, Mecca? Because the devil made you do it. That's what you say. I don't even know why I say the things. That's right, Mecca. Because the devil made you do it. That's what's living inside of you. And the devil is destroying your relationships. And you gotta push him out. You gotta push him out. You've got to not let him have your voice. You gotta let him not have your tongue. But Shawn made it home. He said he missed his wifey and came in and gave her a big fat kiss. We turned to see Felipe met with his mom, told her he has a big decision. He is not certain. The day before, he is not certain. He talks about how incredible she is, how perfect she is, but is she perfect for him? The answer is no. She spends a lot of time sort of displaying her perfectness. And one of the ways Tori displays her perfectness is constantly pointing out Felipe's imperfectness. And is she accurately pointing out his imperfectness? Yes. So all you people at the front of the row right now, firing off your shots, hear me one more time. My getting on Tori is not defending the imperfectness of Felipe. It is not. But she needs to see what she needs to work on if she wants to achieve her goal. Listen, if you want to be single and be by yourself or whatever else, keep doing what you're doing. This is only for people who want something different. This is only for people who want change. Like I said, you only can effect change in another person if you tap into what they want for their life. If you don't want something different than your life, then don't listen to nothing I'm saying. Nothing I'm saying. But what he trapped into when he was talking, what Felipe tapped in and was saying, he can't be his true self. And if he is his true self, it's too against what Tori is, which means he gets in trouble, which means in order to be with Tori, to keep Tori happy, he wouldn't be able to be himself, not even a small version of himself. It's not going to work. He can't keep it up. He really can't keep it up. Tori goes back, talks to her sister, tells her the fight broke up, and she told her sister that Felipe said maybe we're incompatible. He told you we're incompatible, but no, y'all are back together, and here we are. And her friend said he was mean. Even the friend of Felipe told Felipe, when I first met you, I thought that you were mean, right? She says, I don't think that about you anymore. He says, because you kind of just say what you want to say. In Felipe's quest to be really understood, he just says what he thinks. He sometimes, like I said, a lot of videos ago, I said, Felipe actually is brutally honest, right? Which means some people can't handle the truth. They actually want you to take your truth and put it back inside of you because they don't really want your truth. But in Felipe's quest to be accepted, even when some of his shit is toxic, he still tells you. That's why on this last day, right before, he says, I'm going to tell her something else about me, right? And that's when Tori's going to come back and say, is that normal? It doesn't matter if it's normal or not. That's not the point, Tori. It's going to be, it's what he does. It's what he likes. It's what it is, right? So instead of judging it, figure out if it's not something you want to deal with, then don't deal with it. It ain't no different from Belle with these painted fingernails. Someone could say, is that normal? If you were to say, hey, Mecca, is it normal for a man to paint his fingernails? Oh, don't judge him. It's his self-expression. What's the same thing I'm saying? But it doesn't mean you can't then say, hey, that is something that you choose for your life. I'm not going to judge it, but it's not something that I would want for my life. So therefore, I'm going to go a different direction. But instead, what Tori focuses on is trying to get the other person to think like her. Don't do that. Just go find someone like Cameron and Michelle, someone who we think alike, and then we can be a force against the world. We can go get manis and petties together and both paint our fingernails black. Instead of judging it, say, you need a woman who likes this, who's okay with it, and then y'all can go do it together. Go it together. Tori said that some of her arguments are green flags, not red flags. No, they're not, Tori. None of the arguments you have with Felipe are green flags. Why Tori believes that they're green flags is because she thinks in the end she's getting what she wants, because what Felipe does in the end is he just provides lip service and tells her, okay, I agree. So she's like, oh, great. I turned a red flag into a green flag because I got him to agree with what I want. No, it's a temporary green flag. It's like it turned green and it turned red right away. That's what it is. It's fake. It's not real. He was a green flag, so you believe you got what you want. But in the end, he went back right to who he is, which is a red flag. So it was never a green flag, Tori. Tori, it was never a green flag because you're just focused on yourself and what you want. Okay. He says, Felipe could be my husband forever. Oh my gosh. As long as Felipe keeps lying and saying he's going to change all these things about himself to be with Tori, she says, you could be my husband forever. Well, that's anybody. As long as you keep giving me everything I want and you can just keep changing to be what I want, then you know what? We could be together forever. Forever, 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 ever. As long as you do everything I want and be the person I want you to be, we could be together forever. That's everybody's story. The problem is it ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Felipe says she's beautiful inside and out. The mom says she would love Tori to be with Felipe because guess what? Because Felipe's mom knows Felipe needs a mother and Tori will be a good mother to Felipe, telling him what to do. But we get to see Belle and Mecca sitting, talking to each other by the lake, by the water, by the sea, and talking about Belle saying it was a bad weekend and it's helping her learn about herself. Great. Well, is it helping you learn about him? Once again, is it helping you learn about who he really is? And then Mecca sees, you know what? I don't want to get rejected at this altar. So I better start saying something to reel Belle back in. I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if at the altar Mecca says no. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me. Because Mecca's a person that pulls you in only to reject you. He pulls you in, rejects you. He gets up and says, hey, I'm going to toast you at your wedding and say all these wonderful things. Oh, great. Let me give you the mic. And the next thing you know, they use the mic to put you down. And then you're like, what? What happened here? And so Mecca goes on and says he's deeply flawed. And Mecca says he needs to check his energy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is what I said in my last thumbnail, my last video. Your energy is bad. It's devil energy. It's demon energy. I said it, and I'm so glad you are recognizing yourself. And he says, because the real me is not cocky and arrogant. There you go. That's what happens when you allow negative spirits to also come inside of you. Because what you end up having inside of you is a duel, a fight between two spirits inside of you. And right now, Mecca, what you do is you allow that demon energy spirit to win too much. Do I believe somewhere in there could be a nicer Mecca? I do, but the problem is he's allowed this other spirit to be too dominant. Too dominant. We all got a little bit of devil in us. Everyone does. Everyone does. But it's our job to tame that part of us. And what Mecca does is he gives that part of it free reign because it's what he's learned. He's learned that logic, instead of his father being named Logic, his name should be Legion. He's allowed to let that part of him dominate him. And that part of him comes out and does all the dirty work. And then the other part, the wounded part of Mecca, the sad part, the little boy part, the abandoned part, comes back over and says, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done none of that. If you keep allowing that spirit to take hold of you like this, Mecca, when you get older, it may really consume you. You better be careful. You better be careful. But Mecca keeps saying he's really trying to get Belle to say yes. You notice how hard he is working to get Belle to say yes. I don't trust Mecca. Why now do you want her to say yes so badly after you just spent the whole entire weekend kissing the hand of another woman, putting gold chains on the other woman, telling your wife that you want wife swaps? But now all of a sudden you are so intent on saying whatever you need to say in order for her to say yes. You know what you're sowing right now, Mecca? Confusion. That's what you're sowing because you are confused. I said it from the very beginning. Mecca is confused over a lot of things. Just like his daddy said, did you want to be on the male's basketball team or the female's basketball team? What did you want to do? Did you want to be a this? Did you want to be a that? Did you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever? Remember his father kept saying Mecca flip-flops back and forth between all these different things. He never can settle on one thing. It's confusion. Do I want to be a girl? Do I want to be a woman? Do I want to be masculine? Do I want to be female? What do I want? Do I want to be with Belle? Do I not want to be with Belle? Do I want to be a person that says nasty things, or do I want to be a person that says nice things? He's confused. And in his confusion, because of all these different multiple conversations that are happening inside of him, he confuses Belle Jolie. So every time Belle Jolie is talking to him, she's like, okay, who am I talking to now? The sweet Mecca or the mean Mecca? But Belle Jolie wants the sweet Mecca to keep showing up, but that's not who keeps showing up, Belle Jolie. You gotta stop. You gotta stop, Belle Jolie. You gotta say to yourself, you can't count on the sweet Mecca showing up all the time. This person sitting here, and even when this sweet Mecca is sitting here in front of you telling you he wants you to say yes, who is that really? Or is that the mean Mecca saying, I'm just setting you up for another fall? No matter what, this is too much emotional energy. Too much to not know how a person is going to show up, to not be able to count on them being consistent. And so every time what should I do? And now that's why you're sitting here the day before decision day, not knowing what to do. And then she tells us all that she could heal Mecca. No, you can't. Are you an exorcist? Are you some type of spiritual healer that we don't know about? You can't help him. Are you a therapist? Are you a psychologist? Are you a psychiatrist? Belle Jolie, what makes you think that you can help Mecca? You can't. You are underestimating the job. You really, really are. But you know what? We flip to Nikki and Shawn, who I really want to be Bonnie and Clyde. They go out. They got a nice dress on. Shawn tells Nikki, you look good. Nikki says, oh yeah, I'm just out here trying to throw a little commotion out here. I'm loving it. I'm loving these two East Coasters. Yeah, strut your stuff, girl. Walk your walk, girl. I love it. But just when Shawn is in her, giving her compliments, Nikki decides to bring up the conversation that happened over the weekend about men being disrespectful and that he called her a 7 and not a 10. And I said, dang, Nikki, it was going good. Y'all was flapping your gums. You was strutting your stuff. You was talking about how each of you missed each other and you so happy to be back. Bonnie and Clyde was live and in effect. And then Nikki had to bring up the 7 and the 10 comment. Okay. Let's do it, Nikki, if you want to do it. And that's when Shawn told us, what do you remember what you did right before then? I was saying, wait, what a minute, what, hold on, what? What you talking about, Shawn? That's when we found out that Nikki fired the first shot. Gosh, dog it, Nikki. Girl, we was on your side. We was on your side. So all you Nikki fans, are you going to hold her accountable? Are you going to brush off the fact that she grabbed the belly fat and that it was no big deal? Is that what you're going to tell me? It ain't no big deal. He still shouldn't have said what he said. Probably that's what y'all going to do. All your folks in the front row, that's what y'all going to do. You're going to give her a pass once again that she's able to say whatever she wants to say, whether it's affirming or not. And he's supposed to just take it. And she ain't got to be nice. He just got to keep being nice. Nah, they two Leos. That ain't gonna be as high as work. So, Nikki, like I said it from the very beginning. It's not that I don't dislike Nikki or Shawn. I think they're so well suited for each other because these two, in any other relationship, they're gonna have a problem. Yeah, I couldn't be with a Shawn. I couldn't be with a Nikki because I'm just not that type of a person who's gonna want to do this with you. I'm not gonna want to constantly have to check you. So if you always are going to be this person that likes to say things, but you don't expect to get checked in the back, I can check you. I can. But after a while, it's going to be tiring for me. And I'm going to be like, I don't want to use my energy this way because I can take down a person. I know how to do it. It's just that I don't necessarily always want to spend my time and energy to do it. People come for me all the time in the comments, and I have to make a decision. Do I want to spend my time to engage or don't I? And most of the time, I don't. Most of the time, I don't. But, you know, one thing that Shawn tried to say and get her to get is, hey, you know what? We can fight. They both said, but we have to learn how to fight fair and fight kindly. Yeah, stop turning it around on each other, Nikki and Shawn. That's all I keep telling y'all. Y'all turning everything around on each other, and that is the problem. And Shawn said when Nikki shows up as a soft person, he loves her. And Nikki said the same thing about Shawn. When he shows up as a soft person, she really likes him. But y'all not taking responsibility how you trigger each other. It's the craziest thing. They both want each other to be nice, but they both don't see how they trigger each other. It's really, really bad. We saw a little bit with Marissa and Adam. They both got COVID and influenza, but yet they hugged up all underneath each other, drinking tea and soup. And now, once again, we have Adam trying his best to get Marissa to say yes at the altar. All these men, think about it, who have spent the entire show not considering their women, Adam, Mecca, and Felipe. All three of them have spent the entire season not trying to get their women, not trying to appreciate their women. These are the three men now spending time trying to get their women to say yes at the altar. No, it's all to protect their egos. That's what it's about. They're all trying to protect their egos at that altar. And Marissa's telling Adam, do you think it's a little too late to be talking about compromise? Now Adam is admitting he lives in a shack under a tarp. Before, he was set for life financially. But now he says, you know what? Maybe we don't need to live underneath the tarp. Maybe I will move closer to the city center now that he saw Marissa's nice place and we can live there. Now that we can split some rent. Marissa's going to say no to this man. I can't believe Marissa would say yes to this guy. I hope she does not believe that this last minute change, just like Belle shouldn't believe about Mecca, just like Tori shouldn't believe about Felipe, right? That these two are really gonna all of a sudden be willing to be a different person. No, they just here to save face. Save face. Save face. What else went on? It's just a lot more lip conversation before Felipe, them telling each other how much they're in love, they like each other, and he needs a person like a Tori in his life to make him more disciplined and more organized. Don't nobody marry. I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no man marrying a woman because he wants her to get him more organized. I'm gonna tell you it's a no. Because in fact, every time a woman tries to organize a man more, he resists it. Where are all the wives out there trying to organize your husbands? Are they saying, oh, this is why I married you? They may like it. They may like that you do everything, but it's not what gets a man to say yes at the altar. It's not. So don't believe this. Don't believe this. If you want to be disciplined and organized, go hire you a coach. Go hire you an admin assistant. Okay? This is not why men marry women. This is not what gets them to say yes at the altar, because she's organized and disciplined. You may like it. You might like it as a trait, a characteristic. I'm not saying that. But it's not what gets you to say yes at the altar. Forget about it. Like I said, people be bringing talents, talking about this is what I bring to the table, and then they want you to value it. Why don't you ask people what they value, what's most important outside of you or any other woman or any other man? Then you'll really find out what's true and what's really important to them, right? But Cameron and Michelle, they went on about their amazing relationship. They feel secure. And, they both talk about, I've always wanted a man or a woman that had my back. See what's important to them? Bonnie and Clyde is important to them. They don't care if they're wrong, because they are wrong, but they right together. That's what's important in the end. And Michelle said, you know what, she can move. She can find her a different job. I've been thinking about getting a different job anyway. Anyway. So now she's compromising. He's compromising. Lots of tears are flowing. They're just so lucky to have found their person. They love each other so much. They ain't said it, but they do. They do. And then we go back. We still see Mecca still trying to get Belle to say yes. Belle saying Mecca can read her mind. He probably does. He probably can read your mind. That's how he knows how to extract from you, right? When people are users, they're actually better at sometimes reading people than people who aren't, because that's what they need to be able to read you, because they need to know how to manipulate you. That's why they're so good at reading people. They go, let me figure you out. Like a mark. It's like a con man. Con man knows how to find their victims. They spend a lot of time studying people because they need to know how to get over on you, how to manipulate you, how to charm you. Because they're expecting you not to be looking at them. That's why I said keep your eyes open. Stop just using your ears. Use your eyes. Look at them. See them. They standing right in front of you. Everybody talking about, I don't know how this happens to me because your eyes are shut. And you're so busy focusing on what you want. You're not focusing on what the other person is doing, what they're saying, what they're doing. Ugh. Sometimes I just get so upset with people. Mecca running around talking about he's falling in love with the way that she nurtures people. You know, she talking about she likes the kind of accountability that Mecca's showing out. Now he's showing accountability, right? Why in the 11th hour? Why all of a sudden in the 11th hour is Mecca all now showing accountability, Belle? Have you asked yourself that? Why right now, after how long has it been going? 8 weeks, the day before decision day, all of a sudden Mecca is full of accountability. Are you asking yourself that question? You're just so happy to see it. Wow, finally I got accountability, but you're not asking yourself, why in this moment is it now, just now showing up? Just like a man who's only nice to you right before he wants to have sex. After a while, you're like, you're so nice to me when you want to have sex. After you get it though, you mean as hell. Ask yourself questions. Pay attention. See the patterns. But he says he's fallen in love with the way she nurtures. And he says, sometimes when you see me staring at you, I'm just staring at you, looking at you, admiring you. I call BS. I call such BS on Mecca. It is crazy the amount of manipulation that Mecca engages in. Give me a barf bag. Where's a barf bag so I can throw up? All that stuff Mecca was doing. Belle was sopping it up like it was biscuits and gravy. And here I was over here with a barf bag ready to throw up. He could see a future with them 100%. But even Belle said, when he's sitting here talking about all the things that he loves about me, he's never really saying he loves me though. There you go, Belle. Is the light coming on? All these things you can give to me. This is what I want for myself. But do I truly love you? It's the same question I'm telling Tori with Felipe. You like my discipline and my organization? But do you really like me? No. No, he likes what you could bring or do for him, but that's not really what makes him happy. That's why I say, don't be asking men, what do you want in a wife? Right? No, ask him what makes him happy, period. Because what he wants in a wife could be what Felipe's telling Tori. I want somebody to be organized and disciplined because I'm not organized and disciplined. But that ain't going to really what makes him really love you. I'm going to tell you that right now. What's going to really make him love you is when he looks at what he needs in his life to feel great about himself. And you being organized and you being disciplined does not make him feel great about himself. Do you see the difference? Anyway, all the couples are moving out. Everyone's moving out. Cameron's running around talking about he's going to lose some independence. He's going to lose a little bit of it because to get what you want, you're going to have to lose a little bit. To get what you want, Michelle going to need to be a little bit more in control. She really is. She's going to have a little power in the relationship. But as long as you're happy with it, you'll be fine. You will be fine. Mecca and Belle it was hard to see each other leave. Felipe said it was sad to sleep without her. He probably had another woman in the bed. Another woman. I can't wait to hear what Felipe came up with in the 11th hour to tell Tori so that Tori would be a guarantee to say no at this altar. Whatever he told her, I know it's going to be good because it's his last chance. He's been trying to get rid of this woman for a long time. I'm telling you right now, Felipe has been trying to get rid of Tori for a long time. And he said, this is my last chance to get rid of her. So I know whatever he told her, whatever he did or told her, it's got to be good. It's got to be real good because this is his last chance. It's almost like I'm a bet it all. I'm going to bet it all on this one last spin. Everything I got in me, Felipe said, I'm going to put it on this last spin. This last hit, because this has got to be a winner. This right here, what I'm about to hit Tori with, all the stuff I've done, told her I want to sleep with multiple women, told her I ain't fixing her car, none of this, all this stuff I've done, none of it ain't worked. This girl is still here. Now I got to come up with something really, really, really good. And I got to get her to say no to me so I don't look bad. Remember, Felipe, I don't want to be the one that rejects this woman, because it's not that I hate the woman. It's just I just don't want to be married to her. But I got to get her to say no. So I can't wait to see what it's going to be. And just when we thought Nikki and Shawn were going to go out on a high note, and Shawn said, "Oh, you packing up all this stuff you didn't wear?" That was a little dig, basically, Shawn. I caught it, Shawn. I caught it. Like I said, shots fired. And he said, "Have you made a decision, Day?" And she says, "No, I haven't made a decision. There's layers and there's nuance." Every time I talk to Nikki, I feel like I'm on a Teams call. And if we're going to be on a Teams call, Nikki, then you need to have some takeaways. That's why I really want everybody to give Nikki some takeaways. Give Nikki some takeaways so even if these two are not together now, which I really hope they are, she's got some takeaways, because there's layers and nuance and all this other kind of stuff. And I know Shawn's writing a book. Y'all don't let me know Shawn is writing a book, and he's here to publish a book. But if he is, I think what Shawn's book is going to be about is trying to get people to get in touch more with their emotional self. And maybe that's what you see in Shawn when y'all keep saying that he's batting for the same team. But when he asked Nikki, I get what he's asking Nikki, but I also get Nikki doesn't like the way that he asks it. I get both points of view. But whenever he says, he asks Nikki, how does it feel to be packing up your wedding dress? That's what Shawn asked Nikki. Nikki said, it's the end of a chapter and we're ready to see what a new chapter is going to be in front of us. And Nikki's talking about nuance. I got what Shawn was saying is, no, I actually want to know how you feel emotionally. What you told me is transactional. Oh, I'm closing a book, I'm going to move on to the next chapter. It's sort of like transactional. It's sort of like, what's your game plan? What is your strategy? What is your, like I'm on a Teams call, and what are my objectives and what are my goals? That's not what he's asking you. He's asking you emotionally, how does it feel to be packing up a wedding dress? And he says, I want you to use a feeling word. Now, to Nikki, that probably felt condescending, like she was being talked to, like she said, like a little girl or something. But the problem is, what Shawn has accurately pointed out in Nikki is she's emotionally deficient. She's very transactional, which means she's emotionally deficient. I hate to tell you, Nikki, that Shawn is correct. You're emotionally deficient, and he's trying to actually strengthen that emotional muscle in you. Now, does it mean that Shawn doesn't have things to work on? He does. His delivery is horrible. His tact is bad. And that's what Nikki helped Shawn with. Even when Shawn was attacking other people, his points were good with Adam. But what Nikki said is the way that you make your point is bad. You see, they both are right and they're wrong at the same time. They both right and wrong at the same time. And even when he said use a feeling word, the word that Nikki used to describe her feeling was proud. I feel proud of taking this step of growing and morphing into a new person. So once again, it felt like IDP, Individual Development Performance Feedback Program. Nikki just sounds so corporate. Oh, I feel proud of the growth I've had in this position, the things that I've learned. I'm going to be able to use this for my career trajectory in order to prepare for the next level of my career. What? That we're not on a Teams call. We're not in an IDP program. We're not in any of this, Nikki. I'm talking about your feelings and your emotions, and she's not really able to do it. And I think once she started going on and on about it, Shawn got exasperated, and he was like, I'll forget about it. I don't want to hear this. Rude. Shawn, rude. Nikki was right. That was rude. Did I get what he was saying? Yes. What he was saying is it's like pulling teeth to get a real emotion out of this woman. It's like pulling teeth, and I'm tired of listening to it. And he got impatient and he got exasperated. Then he basically just told her to shut up. And she was offended. She should be. She should be offended. Like I said, they both wrong and right at the same time. The difference is they don't know how to be wrong and right together. It's like this. And I wish they could just turn it around. I wish they could just see it. So Nikki's frustrated. He's frustrated. They leave on a bad note. And Nikki started going on, and she was upset. And then next thing you know, here comes Shawn, the New Yorker, says, check your tone. Check your tone. Don't you yell at me. She wasn't yelling, but her tone was to the point. It was. But she's frustrated. He's frustrated. I get it. He said, don't yell at me. And Nikki said, noted. Noted. Good, Nikki. I like this. But both of these people, honestly, they actually both need each other. Because I don't know who's going to do this work with them. Honestly, who's going to do this work with Shawn besides Nikki? And who's going to do this work with Nikki besides Shawn? This is effort. Like I said, just like I talked with Belle, Jolie, and Mecca, and I said, Belle Jolie, this is a lot of work with you, Mecca, because Mecca's not trying to do anything to help Belle Jolie. The one thing why I really still like Shawn and Nikki is because even though this is hard work where they are, it is really hard work. What I like about these two is they both actually can help each other. Mecca can't help Belle Jolie. Belle Jolie thinks she can help Mecca, but Mecca can't help Belle Jolie. But with Nikki and Shawn, even in this, honestly, I really do believe they can make each other better people. And also because they have the actual strength and fortitude to do it. But I don't know if they'll see it. Like I said, Shawn has lost 20 pounds. Shawn has lost 20 pounds, Nikki. Going over there to his IG, I saw him. He looks a lot better. He really does look a lot better. But she says, I'm tired of feeling like I'm talking to a therapist. Good point, Nikki. And what Shawn should say is, I'm tired of feeling like I'm in a Teams call or I'm on a individual development program feedback session. Because both are valid. Both are very, very, very valid. They said they need the time apart because they need to think. They both conflicted because they got a lot of battle scars. They do. This type of work, they're beating up on each other. But like I said before, y'all have the power to not beat up on each other. It really is within your control if you want to do the work. She says, what Shawn will she get? Will she get the one that he feels safe or the real Shawn? Well, the real Shawn is both of them. The question is also, which Nikki will he get? Will he get the soft Nikki, or would he get the team's call performance improvement Nikki? Right? So the same question Nikki has for Shawn should have the same question for Nikki. But hey, we will see. We will see what happens. Like I said, I can't wait to see what bomb Felipe dropped on Tori, because I know it's got to be good. Because he's hoping for a no on this altar day. And I want to see how much effort he put in to drop a bombshell on her that's big enough to make her walk away. It better be good, Felipe. This is your last chance. It better be good. That's all I got, y'all. Hope you stayed to the end. I really do. Talk to y'all later. Bye.